All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Lauren Paul. I am the owner of Lauren Paul Photography and LA Marketing and Productions. And this week and next, we are interviewing small business owners in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And right now, we're getting ready to talk to Scott. Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you, Lauren? Thank you so much for interviewing me for your podcast.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Tell everybody about your business. Tell us what you do.
So I'm an artist by trade. I am the executive creative of ColourPop Art Lab, and then I also am a contemporary artist. I do mixed media and acrylic paintings as well. And yeah, I'm just doing art and thriving during this quarantine, trying to anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you get started down that path? Did you always know you were going to be an artist?
You know, I get that question a lot, and I would love to say that I've been doing art ever since I was a kid, but really, I didn't. I didn't really discover my love for art till a little bit later in life.
Mm-hmm.
But when I did, man, it came with a vengeance, and I realized, wow, this is something that not only do I feel like it really makes me happy when I'm doing it, but it also seems to be a skill that if I can develop it, it can be marketable, and it just was a no-brainer for me. And I just started to practice and learn kind of later in life. I think I first started drawing when I was like 25.
Yeah.
So I'm 34 now. So yeah, not always, but a little bit later in life. Goes to show you that it's never too late.
Yes, very true. We talked about that a little bit before we started interviewing.
That's
So
right.
I believe in that too. Okay, so where do you find your inspiration for your pieces?
Kind of all over the place. I can't not paint with vibrant colors. So everything I do is extremely bright and super colorful. And I generally like to pick imagery that is that I feel like is happy or joyful, or at least to communicate it in a way that is that, so that makes people feel that emotion. And so I don't really have like a single source of inspiration. It's more of just when I'm in a good mood and I'm happy, like ideas just come to me. Whether I'm painting an animal or a plane, or just really any, I mean, just whatever it is, I try to paint it in such a way that is bright, if I can put it that way.
Yeah, positive and uplifting.
Positive and uplifting. Yeah, one of the number one things that I hear from my patrons when they purchase my paintings is like, I love looking at this painting because every time I pass by it, it makes me happy. That's literally the verbatim thing that I hear all the time. And I mean, that is the best compliment I could ever receive as an artist.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that kind of leads me into my next question about what's your greatest passion when it comes to your job or your business. So tell us about that. What are you most passionate about?
I am absolutely most passionate about helping, well, first of all, communicating and conveying joy, happiness, and love in my art.
Mhm.
That's just the most important thing for me as far as the message I'm communicating as an artist. Now, I also do lessons, and I love teaching kids and adults art, and I'm passionate about also helping people tap into their creative part. Like you kind of jokingly mentioned, like, hey, like I can do photography, but like I'm not really an artist, I don't draw. But a lot of people think that, and because it's this very kind of binary way of looking at art. Oh, well, because I don't illustrate in this way or this style, this makes me good or not good.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really work that way. And so I'm really passionate about helping people unlock that
Yeah.
potential, so
Uh-huh.
that they can grow, and also that stuff overlaps in so many other areas. When you start feeling confident in one area that you before that weren't, you never know what that's going to make you be more confident about something else. Maybe you're like, oh, I can draw, so maybe I should learn the piano,
Yeah. The
which we
piano.
talked about. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm impressed that you took on the piano. That's awesome. Okay, so tell us about how you're reaching people during the quarantine. That's actually how I was originally. I started following you from whenever all of this started, and I was just very impressed with your ability to be innovative and just come up with new ways to reach people. So tell us about it. What are you doing during the quarantine to reach people?
Sure. Well, as with everybody that's in business during the time of Corona, as it's being called, we're having to pivot. It really is an adapt or die situation. And for small businesses, like, you don't have a choice. It really is like a life or death situation.
Yep.
And on one hand, that's difficult, but on the other hand, it's kind of exciting because you really have to innovate,
Yeah.
you know, and you can't kind of lean back on the old ways of doing things because
Yeah.
they really just don't work anymore.
Right.
And so it kind of opens up the stage for new people and new things to come to the top because everyone's kind of scrambling. So for me, I really sat down and I thought, okay, if I was interested in art and I can't hang out with people in person, what would be the things that I would be looking for? And then
Mhm.
I just try to offer those things. That's pretty much all it boils down to. If
Yeah.
you wanted the services that you offer, what
Yep.
would you be looking for and what would impress you? What are
Yeah.
the things that if you read someone's pitch that would impress you? And so for me, I just started kind of thinking that way. And so I started to offer virtual art classes, really digestible things, not too difficult for all ages, just because people are looking for stuff for their kids to do and themselves. You know, there's a lot of free time during the quarantine that people are having, especially for kids. And I know that it's important for parents to find good educational, beneficial content for their kids to, you know, ingest. And so I thought I want to offer that. And that also is part of my value system or my, you know, things that I'm passionate about of helping people discover
Mhm.
their creative bent and what they love about art. And so I just started to try to find ways to do that virtually through classes and little free tutorials online and just kind of getting in front of people, you know, I think is the most
Yeah.
important thing.
Well, you've done a great job. So you
I
impressed
will say one more thing about that. Just want to say that I think that, and this is a message to anybody who's listening that's trying to figure out how to virtualize what they're doing in some way. We are in a very unique time. We are in a time where essentially everyone is around a big bonfire,
me.
right? There's never been a more potent time to be posting on social media because more people are seeing it than ever before. You
Yeah.
also have all these groups, right? Tulsa, COVID, this, that you post, and people are checking those groups every day. So you're getting all kinds of engagement. So now is the time to really bolster your online presence because you have unprecedented access into people's attention spheres.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
I think that, you know, people want to hear stories. We're
Yeah.
sitting around a campfire. We want to hear stories. Exactly like what you're doing with these interviews, which I think is a fantastic idea. You know, helping entrepreneurs connect and helping people connect with what they're looking for. It's just a win-win situation. So if you're not capitalizing on this, I mean, this probably will not come again. So it's a really interesting window that we're in. So my encouragement is figure out a way to get in the fray because
Yeah.
you can maximize it, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Well, and I, my whole team would tell you that I am not somebody that goes on video very often. I don't like being recorded. And so this whole quarantine situation has forced me to get on video. I was telling you about how I did the recorded photography classes, and then I forced myself into doing these interviews. I am not a journalist. I am not somebody that
Disclaimer. I'm just kidding.
I'm like, not trying to be on the Today Show, but you're right. It's given us opportunities that we probably wouldn't have even dove into before, and now we're just kind of, I don't even want to say forced, but we're being extra encouraged to really
I
just
would say forced, because it's like, what you got to do something, you know, that stimulus check is not going to last forever. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
you know, but it's a good kind of force
yeah,
because it's forcing you to develop new systems that then once things hopefully go back to normal, you still have these tools. They're
right,
just added into your tool belt. So that's
yeah,
as a business owner, that's great.
yeah. So were you offering, we're going off script a little bit, but were you offering the online kids classes before the quarantine, or was that something you came up with because,
No,
yeah,
no, I didn't even think about it. I relied, all my stuff was live and in person. And then when that was taken away, I was like,
now
well, what
what?
do I do? And then again, going back to what I said, I thought, well, what would I'm a parent. So what would I be looking for that's art related? What would I think is a good value proposition? And I thought, wow, short, free classes on superheroes, just cute little, easy to draw superheroes.
Yeah,
That would be fun. And so I just did it one time to see the engagement, and it got shared like 249 times.
yeah, that's
And I
awesome.
was like, Okay, well,
Yeah,
I should do this more. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And so that's kind of how it got started. And then I realized, like, and then, like you said, I was like, why haven't I been doing this?
yeah,
This is crazy. Not only is it a great value, people are really enjoying it, but also it increases people's engagement and exposure to my brand. So it's just
yeah,
great.
yeah. Well, and I think it's important too. I am a mental health advocate, and we've talked about emotions a little bit, and especially with just the expression of art and how that can just bring peace, especially to children who are, this time is so unknown for adults, and we're all kind of going through a weird grieving process. But even with kids who are struggling with, what this is and what we're doing and why things have suddenly changed, so to give them an
Mm.
activity that lets them kind of tap into that. I mean, they tap into that piece of their brain. I think it's just so unique, and I think it's great. I think it's great what you're doing.
Well, and also too, the good thing too is that whenever I do these classes, I really try to encourage parents to do it with their kids.
Yeah.
Anytime that you can do an activity with your child, an activity that what I would classify as like a level playing field activity, where it's not like you're teaching, but you're kind of learning with. There's
Mm-hmm.
a humility that it communicates. It's a unique connection that I think is really beautiful. So just drawing with your kids and being like, hey, I'm trying to, oh, I like yours. Like, oh, you did good. Oh, I messed up here, but yours looks really good. Or, kind of like that's what I'm offering. So it's a twofold thing. And speaking of this, the mental health and just the peace and the connection in the home, not only to have something to occupy your child's time, but if you're so inclined and are able to do it with them, it's not a huge investment and it reaps huge dividends, I think, in the connection between parent and child.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So what are you going to be offering whenever the quarantine is lifted? What's next for you?
Nothing. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm
No,
joking.
all this same stuff. I mean, I like I said, I have the free art classes that I do on Facebook Live, which I kind of pipe in from my Scott Taylor Art Gallery Facebook page. Shameless plug, but yeah, I mean, I'll be offering these same stuff. I have class packages. I know you and we talked a little bit before. You can get more information on my page or shoot me a message, but they're just themed classes based around different categories of stuff like flying and under the sea. So it'd be like fish or planes or superheroes or flowers. So people can learn to draw different things. I'll be offering those classes. And then I'll be doing virtual paint lessons. Like I'll be just doing pretty much what I'm doing now, except way more of it, and
More.
hopefully a little more streamlined because I'm learning how to do it all in real time, so that's been interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm really excited to see where all of this takes you. Okay, so tell us real quick, how can people find you? You kind of mentioned that just a minute ago, but how can people find you online?
Yes. So I'm in the process of building my website, which is not quite up yet. So you can't find me there, but it's just going to be scotttaylorartgallery.com. That's the name I have for everything. So right now, currently, you can find me on Facebook at Scott Taylor Art Gallery or Instagram at the same name, Scott Taylor Art Gallery. And those are the best places to reach me. If you're interested in any of my paintings or any of your classes, just shoot me a message. I will respond post haste. I'm really good at that. And so that's probably the best way to reach me. I'm in the process of building a YouTube channel and all that good stuff, which if you're following those pages, you'll get those announcements.
Yeah.
And then I also have an email list as well that you can shoot me a message and say, I want to sign up for updates on classes. And on that list, you get, to see art before it's released to the public, in case you're interested in it, or special discounts for classes, all kinds of little perks. So you can do that as well.
Okay, perfect. And then I will also link all of that you just said. I'll put it in the description and the comments and everything whenever the video is posted, so nobody has any excuses to not be able to find you and all
That's
this
right.
awesomeness that you're offering. So thank you, Scott, so much. I really appreciate your time.
No, thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity. It was awesome to talk to you.
Thank you.